What if I told you that the drink in your hand right now is classified by scientists as a neurotoxin? The same substance that helps you relax after work, celebrate special moments, and bond with friends is simultaneously damaging your brain, shrinking your organs, and contributing to 2.6 million deaths every single year worldwide. Yet we call it spirits, serve it at weddings, and consider it a normal part of life. Here's something that will blow your mind. Alcohol is the only drug where people question you for not using it. Think about that for a moment. We've normalized a toxic substance so completely that abstaining from it seems strange. Today, we're uncovering the uncomfortable truth about alcohol. From its ancient origins to its devastating effects on your body and brain. From the reasons billions of people drink it to the staggering death toll it creates. This isn't a lecture about morality. This is about science, history, and the reality of what alcohol actually does to the human body. Let's dive in. Alcohol's relationship with humanity goes back at least 9,000 years, making it one of our oldest discoveries. Archaeological evidence shows that ancient civilizations in China were fermenting rice, honey, and fruit as early as 7,000 BC. The oldest verifiable brewery was discovered in a cave near Haifa in Israel, containing 13,000-year-old beer residue used for ritual feasts to honor the dead. But here's the fascinating part. Humans didn't invent fermentation. We discovered it by accident. Wild yeasts, naturally present in the environment, started working on stored grains and fruits, converting sugars into alcohol. Our ancestors simply noticed that consuming these fermented substances produced pleasant, intoxicating effects. Ancient Egyptians brewed at least 17 types of beer and 24 varieties of wine. The Sumerians worshipped Ninkasi, the goddess of beer. In ancient India, an alcoholic beverage called surah was consumed between 3000 and 2000 BC. Across virtually every civilization, from Mesopotamia to the Americas, from Africa to Asia, humans independently discovered and embraced alcohol. Some historians even propose that alcoholic drinks predated agriculture, and that the desire for these beverages actually led to farming and civilization itself. Whether that's true or not, one thing is certain. Alcohol became deeply woven into the fabric of human culture, playing roles in religious ceremonies, social bonding, and daily life. But just because something is ancient doesn't mean it's good for us. Our ancestors also didn't know about bacteria, didn't understand cancer, and thought bloodletting cured diseases. So let's examine what modern science reveals about this ancient substance. Before we discuss alcohol's toxic effects, let's understand why billions of people consume it despite the risks. The reasons are complex and deeply rooted in human psychology and culture. First, there's the immediate effect, intoxication. Alcohol alters brain function, lowering inhibitions, creating feelings of relaxation and happiness, and temporarily relieving anxiety and stress. For many people, that escape from daily pressures feels necessary, even therapeutic. Second, social and cultural factors are enormous. Alcohol consumption varies dramatically across cultures, but in many societies, drinking is essential to socialization. In Western countries, it's celebrated at weddings, business dinners, sporting events, and casual gatherings. Studies show that about 30% of adults feel pressure to consume alcohol while socializing. and over 40% admit to canceling social plans for fear they would be pressured to drink. The media reinforces this constantly. Nearly 90% of movies portray alcohol, and social media influencers regularly showcase drinking as fun and glamorous. This normalization creates powerful social pressure, especially among young people. Third, stress plays a major role. Nearly 80% of workers in the United States report work-related stress, and many turn to alcohol as a coping mechanism. The irony? Alcohol actually increases anxiety and stress in the long run, creating a vicious cycle. Fourth, family and environmental factors matter tremendously. People who grew up with alcoholic parents or in environments where heavy drinking was normalized are significantly more likely to develop alcohol problems themselves. Interestingly, people with higher socioeconomic status tend to drink more frequently than others. The lower-income populations face worse health outcomes from equivalent consumption. Finally, there's the simple fact that alcohol is legal, widely available, and relatively inexpensive in most countries. Unlike other drugs, you can buy it at any corner store. This accessibility makes it the drug of choice for millions. Understanding these reasons is crucial because it shows that alcohol use isn't just about individual choice. It's about culture, pressure, stress, family patterns, and availability. But regardless of why people drink, the biological effects remain the same. Now let's talk about what alcohol actually is. Ethanol, a psychoactive and toxic substance that can cause dependence. Yes, you read that correctly. Toxic. Not toxic in large amounts, just toxic, period. When you drink alcohol, it rapidly diffuses through almost every biological compartment in your body. And everywhere it goes, it causes damage. Let's break this down system by system. Your liver bears the brunt of the assault. It's responsible for metabolizing alcohol. But the process creates toxic byproducts. Chronic alcohol consumption leads to fatty liver disease, alcoholic hepatitis, and ultimately cirrhosis, where healthy liver tissue is replaced by scar tissue. This is irreversible and fatal without a transplant. Your heart and cardiovascular system suffer significantly. While some studies suggested moderate drinking might have cardiovascular benefits, recent research shows that any level of alcohol consumption increases health risks. In 2019 alone, an estimated 474,000 deaths from cardiovascular diseases were caused by alcohol consumption. Alcohol raises blood pressure, damages heart muscle, and increases risk of stroke and heart failure. Your digestive system takes a beating. Alcohol irritates and inflames the stomach lining, damages the pancreas, and contributes to various digestive diseases. In 2019, 700,000 deaths from injuries and accidents were attributable to alcohol. But perhaps most alarming is what alcohol does to your brain. And here's where things get really disturbing. Your brain is particularly vulnerable to alcohol's toxic effects. Why? Because the brain has very low levels of antioxidants and antioxidative enzymes compared to other organs, but high levels of fats that are easily damaged. This makes it a prime target for alcohol-induced destruction. Chronic alcohol consumption contributes directly to neurotoxicity through multiple mechanisms: thiamine deficiency, toxic metabolites, and neuroinflammation. These processes lead to serious conditions like Wernicke-Korsakoff syndrome, a devastating disorder characterized by severe memory problems and cognitive impairment. A 2025 study found that people consuming 8 or more drinks per week had an increased risk of brain lesions called hyaline arteriolosclerosis, signs of brain injury associated with memory and thinking problems. These lesions make small blood vessels narrow, thick, and stiff, reducing blood flow and damaging the brain over time. The frontal lobes, limbic system, and cerebellum are particularly vulnerable. These regions control executive function, emotion regulation, decision-making, and motor coordination. Damage to these areas impairs cognition, increases impulsivity, and perpetuates the cycle of dependence. Here's what's truly disturbing. These changes reinforce alcohol cravings and compulsive alcohol-seeking behaviors. The brain literally rewires itself to want more alcohol, making addiction a neurobiological condition, not a moral failing. Now let's talk numbers, because they're absolutely shocking. According to the World Health Organization, 2.6 million deaths per year are attributable to alcohol consumption. That's 4.7% of all deaths worldwide, every single year. To put that in perspective, that's more than 7,000 people dying every single day because of alcohol. Not from drunk driving accidents alone, from all alcohol-related causes combined. Of these deaths, 1.6 million were from non-communicable diseases like cancer and cardiovascular disease. An estimated 401,000 cancer deaths globally in 2019 were attributed to alcohol consumption, including breast, liver, head and neck, esophageal, and colorectal cancers. Alcohol is an established carcinogen, meaning it directly causes cancer. Another 700,000 deaths came from injuries, including traffic accidents, falls, drowning, burns, violence, and suicide. Here's something heartbreaking. Of 298,000 deaths from alcohol-related road crashes in 2019, 156,000 deaths were caused by someone else's drinking. Innocent people dying because someone else made the choice to drink and drive. Nearly 300,000 deaths stemmed from communicable diseases like HIV/AIDS and tuberculosis, which are more prevalent among alcohol users due to risky behaviors and compromised immune systems. An estimated 400 million people, or 7% of the world's population aged 15 and older, live with alcohol use disorders. Of these, 209 million people live with alcohol dependence, the most severe form. These aren't statistics. These are human beings struggling with a substance that has hijacked their brain chemistry. Men suffer disproportionately, accounting for 2 million of the 2.6 million alcohol-attributable deaths. Young people, ages 20 to 39, are disproportionately affected, with 13% of alcohol-attributable deaths occurring in this age group. The highest death rates per capita are observed in the WHO, European, and African regions, with over 52 deaths per 100,000 people. Despite some reduction in alcohol-related death rates since 2010, the overall numbers remain what experts call unacceptably high. So is alcohol poison or pleasure? The answer is both. And that's exactly what makes it so dangerous. Alcohol is a neurotoxic substance that damages virtually every organ system in your body, kills 2.6 million people annually, causes cancer, shrinks your brain, and creates physical dependence. These are facts, not opinions. Yet it's also deeply embedded in human culture, provides temporary relief from stress and anxiety, facilitates social bonding, and for many people, is a source of enjoyment. These are also facts. The uncomfortable truth is that we've collectively decided that alcohol's cultural and social benefits outweigh its massive health costs. We've normalized a toxic substance to such an extent that questioning its place in society seems radical. This doesn't mean everyone who drinks will become addicted or die from alcohol-related disease. Risk exists on a spectrum. But pretending alcohol is harmless or that moderate drinking is universally healthy is simply denying the science. If you choose to drink, understand what you're actually doing to your body. There is no safe level of alcohol consumption. If you or someone you love is struggling with alcohol use disorder, please seek help. Treatment works. Recovery is possible. Organizations exist to provide support, including therapy, medical intervention, and peer support groups. The next time you pour a drink, remember, you're not just consuming a beverage. You're consuming a neurotoxic substance with 9,000 years of human history behind it, capable of providing temporary pleasure while causing permanent damage. Make that choice consciously, with full awareness of what alcohol truly is. Because in the end, knowledge is power, and understanding the real effects of alcohol is the first step toward making informed decisions about your health, your life, and your future.